will contest the World Junior Karting Championships here at PFI next month. It's an international field led by the 27, Joseph Taylor, Jade race team on the Fullerton chassis. Morgan Porter for the M Sport team on a Tony Kart number 2, last year's runner-up of the British Championship on the outside of row number 1. Sean Butcher and Shiab Al-Habsi on row 2. Jamie Day and Angus Moolsdale row 3. Luca Griggs and Loris Caribou on row 4. Enzo Schianti and Daniel Butterworth row 5. Luke Preston and Suleiman Zanfari on row 6. Chris Lullum and Cameron Coombs on row 7. Klaas Koike on row 8. What has happened before is done. Whether people have raced or not, whether they've saved tyres or not, it matters little, because what does matter now is who crossed the line first at the end of 15 minutes. Everybody has played their hand. There's equipment you were given. It's got to be all on the tarmac right now. And 17 or 15 drivers from 6 different countries bring them to the line. Joseph Taylor leads the field through the Bruno Ferrari chicane, out onto the banking with Morgan Porter slotting into second place. Is that, or is that Sean Butcher? It is Butcher in the number 57 Barrett Racing Kart who slots into second. And again, for the, we will talk about the racing on the track, but with one set of tyres the last 3 days of racing, Chris Lullum, the reigning European champion in Junior X30, chose not to go out for the heats to save tyres, and then broke down in the pre-finals. So he's got fresher tyres, but he is still at the back, and he will have to try and now prove why. He finished 5th in this year's European Championship, I believe. He's been one of the quickest drivers in Europe, the Theo Saxon Racing team this year. He's now got to prove it against some of the best. Taylor, Frenchman, 3-2. The warning flag for his efforts. There's the number 21 Kart going through the screen. That's Caribou for the Fusion Motorsport team. And Taylor, Barrett, Butcher and Porter, the top 3. Morgan Porter, and while we're watching this, a few minutes ago, this could happen anytime. And Ricky's done a bit of commentating before. Porter, the M Sport team, now takes second place. Now, obviously, Ricky was a junior driver before. Some of these, well, all of these drivers are still cadets, but raced for the Fusion team in cadet, I believe, and then you were on the Racing Steps Foundation in KF3. This is a long race. The temptation is to use your stuff early, but you do have to conserve. You've got Taylor, Porter, and then Shiab Al-Habsi from Oman in 3rd position. Sean Butcher across the line. It's Taylor from Tyne & Weir who leads. You look back and you see that Chris Lullum is still 13th. And Lullum's got to make progress. And of course, I'm not going to ask Ricky about who's got on his class so far because he's arrived. But to see a driver from Oman and to see a driver from Dubai with Jamie Day in 5th position, that shows that the karting is such a global sport, and the centre of it seems to be in Lincolnshire, because you've raced against people from all over the world. As we've got a change for the lead, Morgan Porter, and Joseph Taylor's fighting back. And through the Fullerton S's, you've been around this track so many times. That crossover move is a classic.
Yeah, definitely. That was a bit of a textbook cut back there by Joseph Taylor. But yeah, the first couple of laps, really, really crucial in race. You can see now that about sort of the top 5, 6, 7 cars are starting to break away a little bit. And once you miss that slipstream, and you can't really get it back. So again, fighting over again. So fourth down by Taylor maybe sticking behind him. Will he look to go down the inside of the hairpin? No, he doesn't. He sticks behind him. You can see these two guys now trying to push to get away, but at the same time they're battling.
Because Porter and Taylor, they both want to lead, but they know that Lullum potentially is just at the fast lap of the race with 11 minutes to go. There's a lot of racing left to go, and you've got Al-Habsi just 0.3 of a second behind. It must be so frustrating when you're in a battle and you can't pull away from the guy that's racing you, but yet, you know, he can't pull away from. It's a real test of patience, if anything else, because you're looking over your shoulder and you can see that you've got Al Habsi, Butcher, and Jamie Day in the number 24 KR Sport Kart, and then Loris Caribou, the Frenchman. So Loris Caribou with Chris Bailey on the spanners this weekend in the number 21. Then it is Luca Griggs, and side by side behind Griggs, it's Suleiman Zanfari from Morocco and Luke Preston, and there's a change of second. So M Sport 1-2, Taylor, the only Fullerton chassis, the only Jade Kart entry. He's got Sean Butcher behind him, and now Morgan Porter pulling away. Down. Here's Saxton Racing, number 20, Chris Lellum, up into the top 10 now. And actually, he's into 9th, past Luke Preston, but there has been a bit of a breakaway because the top 7 actually pulled clear. There is Porter, followed by Al Habsi, followed by Taylor, then Jamie Day, and then Loris Caribou, followed by Luca Griggs, and Griggs in the blue and white M Sport number 99. They come off the bridge down towards the first hairpin. Taylor to the inside of Al Habsi. Well, we have never had an Omani GP plate winner. We've never had a Dubai-based GP plate winner. And looking back to the number 21 car, we've never had a Frenchman win the GP plate. Warning flag going out to Chris Lellum, and that is the problem. Chris Lellum is now he's got to get aggressive to get to the front, and he cannot risk having that nose cone off or drop down. Andrew Skionsky runs in 11th, and Daniel Butterworth, Chris Moolsdale, Cameron Coombs and Klaas Koika, all key starters still running. Porter's lead now out to 3/4 of a second. Taylor and Al Habsi in 3rd place. Morgan Porter starting to stretch away. So Pollard has just been outside to beat up Martin Bean. Thanks on behalf of everyone. No, I'm joking. Just have to say hello because obviously, you know, spend a long time around the paddock, you get to know a lot of people. Butcher's there in 3rd, and Kieran Crawley run number 2 kart of Morgan Porter ahead of the Mark Allen run J team entry of Joseph Taylor, Butcher, Al Habsi and Day going through the Fullerton, and of course the race here obviously when the bridge was in play, and what's it like now coming as you come onto this straight. This is the fastest part of kart racing in the UK, and then you go under that bridge. You've got drivers here that have never been that fast in kart. You've got drivers from Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago even. What's it like going under that bridge? Speeds of 80 miles an hour with a vehicle that wants to throw you out with every given opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably one of the most exciting corners on the track. So, yeah, as these guys come under the bridge, I think they're completely flat to the right, to the left, and then the next right. And you see some of the guys climbing the curb to try and open the banking corner. You know, some drivers use the curb, some drivers don't use the curb, and you know it can unsettle the car. So, you know, it's almost quite a risky move. It might be quicker, so maybe on a qualifying lap, or if you want to get the maximum out of it, you can take it. But you know, seeing some of these karts and the sparks flying out from underneath, and you know, they're coming off the curb and it slides around quite a lot. But you know, if you get it to work, by all means, I think you should. But it looks cool. I think Chris Walker got some good pictures over there.
Chris Walker in the there's Sean Butcher, and of course, you know, you've been in races as well, especially at the British Championship, where there's been only say a dozen of you, and the tyres are used up so quickly. You know, not all the drivers have done all the races this weekend, and you know whether it's not against the rules, but it's the tactics that you play. You know, as a driver, you think to yourself, well, I want to win the GP plate, so I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that I do that. It's very different from somebody from an outside perspective to think, yeah, they're not racing, and that's very true. You know, in my opinion, but it is hard when you're in the class with not many people, and you know the tyres are critical. You haven't got another set. It'd be so much easier if everybody had a fresh set of tyres to the final. We could all go for it, you know.
Definitely, I completely agree with that. To be honest, you know, it's a massive shame that we haven't had all the drivers doing all the racing. But you know, you've got to understand that these guys are here to win. They're not here to finish second. And you know, if they can find some kind of advantage through doing the system that way, then they're going to do it. You can see Lullum actually, he's coming all the way up now. He's up to 8th already, and you know, he's obviously on these fresh tyres. So it'll be interesting to see. We've still got just under 6 minutes to go. Plus obviously the extra lap. And whether or not Lullum, they are with the fastest lap of 57.630. If he can continue to push on and catch the guys in front, you know, I think that you have to be a betting man. The odds are against him, but you know, I'll put 5 on him.
Well, yeah, that's you know, there's a driver's perspective who's not directly involved, and Joseph Taylor and of course Morgan Porter. The problem is that, you know, all it takes is all of them to do it, and then suddenly you've got 15 minutes of spare track time and no one to listen to but me and you, and that's a big word to death. But luckily, everyone else is the traditional method of going kart racing, and Morgan Porter, he missed a race as well at the start one race. Joseph Taylor has done every corner of every lap, and he's one of the youngest drivers in the field, 12 years old, and Suleiman Zanfari going through. So Taylor and Butcher, well, Butcher's done nearly every corner because he actually retired at the last corner of the first heat. But a lot of these drivers will, you know, they're doing double duty, they're doing 2 classes. I think in this class, Porter's doing 2, Angus Moulsdale doing 2, and Angus Moulsdale is down in 11th place now. Jamie Day in the number 24 kart, he's doing 2 classes, and Jamie Day's actually in the top 5. There's Lullum now coming up to Luca Griggs. So the drop nose cone rule, Lullum has got to be very, very careful. 4 minutes to go, and as you can see, there's a gap. The key will be how, if Lullum, and I'm sure Lullum will get past Griggs, there he goes, and you know, Griggs quite sensibly, you know, doesn't battle with him. How quickly can Chris Lullum now bridge the gap between himself and the top 5? And Ricky Conrad's 5er is you know, on the table. The lead 5 are coming into the first hairpin. 4 minutes to go. Porter leads by 3/10 over Taylor. Al-Habsi is there in 3rd. No, that's Butcher in 3rd, Al-Habsi 4th, and then Day in 5th. Then it's Lullum, and the gap is about 30 kart lengths at the moment. 3.5 minutes. It all depends on when Morgan Porter and Joseph Taylor start battling. That will be the key.
Definitely, I think they're all being pretty well behaved at the front, which is a little bit of a problem here for Lullum. You know, his second lead guy starts batting, you know, he will just concentrate on the back, and obviously with these fresh tyres, you know, we'll be able to hopefully see some great overtakes. But look at the amount he's taken out of them already. He's nearly on the back of them with 3 minutes 13 as they ride on board and as he goes under the bridge. Again, Lullum taking a lot of curb under the bridge to open the banking section. That must be again really important thing to be doing as a driver. And again, as they come down the hill, you sort of see the front 2 trying to get away a little bit, and then you've got 3rd and 4th trying to get away a little bit, and then you've got obviously Lullum absolutely driving the wheels of his car to try and get on the back of them. Oh, they change the lead. I'll pass it back over to Henry.
Well, that's what, no problem at all. I mean, I think I missed the last lap and half a race once. But Joseph Taylor has gone back into the lead. So Taylor, who has just got on with the job of turning left, right, and pressing the loud pedal as often as possible, whilst nothing else will be going on around him, now finds himself ahead of Morgan Porter. But you can see Porter, he's very stable in the car, obviously bigger in stature, he's a couple of years older. This is, I think, his 2nd or 3rd season as a junior, and Joseph Taylor is fresh out of cadet, so Porter's got that physical strength. He's sat right on the bumper of Joseph Taylor. Down the hill, 2 minutes to go. Shiab Al-Habsi is now holding off Sean Butcher and Jamie Day. The gap between Day in 5th and Lullum in 6th is still 1.3 seconds. And I think maybe, well, perhaps whatever happened to Lullum in the pre-final was just one step too far, and he is pushing on though. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 57.63, but it's only 2/10 faster than Joseph Taylor's fastest lap. As a driver, as a cadet, you spend a lot of time looking around over your shoulder to try and defend, and then that is drummed and beaten out of you, quite literally, if you're with the Mark Baines team by the sounds of it. So stop doing that as you go through the ranks, Ricky. But Taylor There he looks over the shoulder. Porter, this is 80 miles an hour through turn number 1. Morgan Porter takes the lead. 1 minute to go. Taylor's going to have to fight straight back as they go over the bridge. And it's a case of how much this way your arms are hurting you this way, because you have to do so much physical work. Your arms, your forearms starting to ache and you're just hanging on, or do you still feel fresh and the adrenaline takes over from any pain you might be feeling?
I think on the last couple of laps, and as you see now, Taylor back down the inside again. Will we see the cutback from Porter? Not quite, but no. You know, the physical condition here. You know, I think this is what they will be fighting for all weekend. This is the final. This is what really counts. So, you know, the adrenaline will be going so high, and I don't think, you know, fitness will play too much of a factor right now. But yeah, look at this. It's going to be a five-car battle for the lead, and we're coming across the line now with 25 seconds to go.
And Morgan Porter to the inside. Forces the issue. Taylor has to concede. Going through the Bruno Ferrari as under the bridge and out onto the banking. The next time around, they will see the last lap board. 5 for the win in Junior OK. The first ever time that this has been contested in Kart Masters. Oh, and Taylor's been run wide. That's Shihab Al-Habsi, the Omani driver, stuffing one at the inside of Joseph Taylor. And Taylor's back to 4th now as Butcher takes P3. So Morgan Porter, the driver from Ockham, and here comes Chris. No, that's Jamie Day. So Jamie Day has been sat at the back of this group. Lulham is closing in. The gap between Day and Lulham is shrinking, but it's Porter as the clock strikes 0. Well, it's an M Sport 1-2. Is it going to be Porter, last year's British runner-up, or for the first time in Kart Masters history, an Omani driver in the form of Shihab Al-Habsi? And there's 3 kart lengths in it. Butcher, who took a 2-year break from karting and came back this year, sits in 3rd for the Mick Barrett racing team. Then it is Day in 4th, the Dubai-based driver, and Joseph Taylor, after driving the wheels off that Fullerton kart, faces potentially not even getting on the podium. Into the first hairpin, Al-Habsi is closing in on Porter. Al-Habsi's got a good run, Porter slows it down, and Shihab Al-Habsi goes around the outside. He's going to try the undercut up the short chute. No, Porter's wise to it. Butcher, Day, and Fullerton, the Fullerton of Taylor have been caught by Lulham, but it's the 2 M Sport drivers going into the Mike Wilson complex. Shihab Al-Habsi aiming to become the first Omani. I don't think he's got it. Porter still leads. Morgan Porter for the M Sport team comes across the line and wins Junior OK for a 1-2. And what a result for Shihab Al-Habsi. Oman has a podium finisher in Kart Masters, and Sean Butcher, whose dad, Glenn, I have remembered his name, after a 2-year layoff from karting, comes back, and the Anglo-Australian driver for Mick Barrett Racing finishes on the podium. Jamie Day, what a result for Jamie and his mechanic Paul Hardy. They finish 4th. Chris Lulham 5th, but Joseph Taylor, well, 6th position does not reflect the effort that that young man, who is still, could technically be a cadet, has put in this weekend. Luca Griggs finishes 7th. Loris Caribou is 8th for France. Then Morocco, Suleiman Zanfari 9th. American driver Enzo Schianti 10th. Angus Moolsdale, Scotsman, finishes 11th, followed by the privateer driver Daniel Butterworth, Klaas Koika, and finally Luke Preston. And in the midst of all that, we lost the 698 racing kart of Cameron Coombs, and into the Parc Fermé area. So the drivers, there is your winner, Morgan Porter, and you know, we're going to look, and it sometimes we'll see the initial reaction, Porter getting his kart into an area, and what we see, and of course this is something that we didn't see when you were racing, and there is Danny